Hey, what's up, everybody? Dan Fletcher here again with episode number 4 of Learn Whatever. I don't remember what I called the video series. Let's learn Ruby on Codecademy. Just to recap what we did over the last few videos, we learned some basics, variable assignment. We learned some control structures in the last video. What else did we do? Filtering user input, getting user input, Boolean operators, comparisons, basic math in Ruby. And just to reiterate, I've never learned Ruby before on my own and literally never even looked at the documentation before. So I'm just kind of going through a Codecademy series and thought it'd be cool to record myself doing it. So yeah, let's get on with the next one. So we have here Thith, Meanth war. Using control flow, we can modify a user's input and return it to them. Sorry, my voice is kind of like off. I just got back from like Thanksgiving, so I've been talking to people like all night. Anyway, so using control flow, we can modify a user's input and return it to them. In this project, we'll make them sound like Daffy Duck. Okay, let's start the lesson. Oh, excuse me. What's going on here? Okay, there we go. I'll just be a little slow. Sorry, my throat's a little dry. Okay, so what you'll be building now that we can direct our program using if-else statements, we can produce different results based on different user input. In this project, we'll combine control flow with a few new Ruby string methods to Daffy Duckify a user string, replacing each s with the. So, click around to see the Daffy Duckifier in action and to start building your own. Okay, so like the last few videos, before we click around, I'm just gonna read through it and take a gander through the code. Okay, so first we're gonna print string, please. User input equals gets.chomp. We already know what that does. User input down case with the exclamation. We also have seen this before, so this is basically mutating the value of user input, making it all lowercase. And then, so if the user input dot include with a question mark, this is new. We haven't seen this before, but I'm assuming this is a check. This is probably saying, hey, does this string have any s? If it does have s's anywhere, user input dot g sub. So I'm guessing this is some sort of substring, regular expression match, right? And then I'm guessing, like, I'm just going off what we've seen before. This bang probably means that we're mutating the user input itself, so we don't have to. It's not returning the user input and then having to assign it into like a new variable or whatever. So this is just a regular expression, kind of standard in most languages. We're just checking for the literal s, and then we are so differences, like you could do that to match white space in regex. That's just the character s, and then we're replacing anywhere that there's an s with th. Else, if we don't find an s in the string, we're gonna puts, nothing to do here, and then in all cases we're gonna puts your string is, and then using string interpolation that we learned in I think the second episode, we just print the user input back to the user. Okay, so let's run this. String, please. Okay, I don't know, sup. Your string is slup. Cool. Alright, so let's dive in and learn all this stuff. Getting user input. First, we should print a statement to prompt the user for input, then set that input to a variable using gets.chomp. Use print to ask for the user input, declare a variable called user input, and set it equal to the user's input using gets.chomp. Give me a string, please. Okay, so whoops, user input is going to equal gets.chomp. We'll run that code. Hey, this is a string. Hit enter. Cool. I'm just going to put a space there. I always forget to do that. Run the code again. It's passing, so let's go next. Down case. We want to make sure we capture both capital S's and lowercase s's in the user's input. We could write separate if-else statements to handle this, but we can also use down case to convert user's input to all lowercase. That way, we only have to search for the lowercase s. So call the down case method on user input. Make sure to include the bang. Excuse me. Make sure to include the bang so that the user string is modified in place. Otherwise, Ruby will create a copy of user input and modify that instead. So that makes sense. If I do user input dot down case, and then let's say, let's just show what they're talking about here. I'm gonna run the program. Whoops, shit. Get over onto the console. For fuck. Fucking Codecademy. Okay. Refresh. Run it again. Should work this time. Give me a string, please. So I'll just say string, right? And so this didn't downcase it, because if you call it like this, it's expecting you to have some new value and assign it to what downcase returns, right? So it's not mutating the original variable. If you want to mutate it without having to return the output into a new value, shit, you want the bang. That's all that this part here is saying. Okay, so downcase it. Did it want me to print it? I don't think so. So I'll just remove this line and I'll run it again. It should pass, I think. Maybe I have to give it. Yeah, okay, we're good. Oh, okay, I'm gonna pause the video. I need water really bad. Where were we? Setting up the if branch, part 1. All right, time to add in a little control flow for the if half of our branch. We want to check whether the user's input contains an s. So if string to check dot include with this question mark and then the substring you're looking for. We can do that using Ruby's .include method, which evaluates a true if it finds what it's looking for and false otherwise. As a general rule, Ruby methods that end with question mark evaluate to the Boolean values true or false. So we want to check user input for substring s. Write an if statement in the editor. It should check to see if user input includes s. For now, print a string of your choice to the console if it finds s. So this is actually a pretty neat way of expressing this functionality. I don't think I've seen such a clean way to do this before. So the string that we're checking this on is user input include question mark s, and then I'll print, hey, we Found an S. And then we need our end. Let's run it. Give me a string, please. Okay, we'll just say snake. Hey, we found an S. If I run it again and I say Bob, we just get nothing because we didn't give it an else. So that passes. Let's go to the next. Setting up the if branch part 2. Good. So now let's complete our if statement. When we find the S, we want Ruby to replace every instance of S it finds with the. We can do this with the .gsub method, which stands for global substitution. The syntax looks like this. And when we get to later lessons, we'll explain why the /s/ has to be between slashes instead of between quotes. I already said earlier this is because it's a regular expression. Note, you cannot put a space between gsub and the bit in parentheses. Remember, you want the exclamation at the end of the method name so that Ruby will change the string in place. Cool. So we were right about that too, and we did our little code dive at the beginning. Remove the print statement you added to your if statement and replace it with a call to gsub. On user input, have it replace s's with th. Okay, so if we find an s, we want to take that user input, gsub, we want to mutate it, and we want to search for this regular, compare against this regular expression, and if that regex pattern returns true, we want to replace it with th. And just for consistency's sake, I'll stick with the double quotes. I think that's it, right? Okay, so let's run it. Yeah, Sally. If I run that, we should get a pass, and we do. Next. Setting up the else branch. The hard part's over. Now we just need to let the user know if we don't find any instances of letter S. Add an else statement that displays a string to the user to let them know if there are no S's in their string. Else print ain't shit to do, son. Do Bob, ain't shit to do. Okay, next. Sorry, I'm gonna be clearing my throat a lot. Returning the final string, string. Home stretch. Now we want to display the Daffy Duckified string to the user. You can do that using the string interpolation we learned earlier. My string equals muchachos, print adios. My string, which would turn into adios muchachos. Add a put statement that uses string interpolation to show the user their transformed string. So we'll do puts, and your string was user input. Run it. There's a string. Your string was string, and it passes. Congratulations. Great work. How might you improve this project? You could add an additional if statement to re-prompt the user for input if they don't enter anything. Think about how you might account for words in which the letter C sounds like an S. Think about how you might preserve the user's original capitalization. Enough pondering for now. When you're ready, click Run to complete this project. Okay. Bob again. Ain't shit to do, son. Your string was Bob. Awesome. All right, and nice. That was a nice quick lesson. So coming up next is going to be loops and iterators. Using loops and iterators, Ruby can automate repetitive tasks for you quickly and easily. So that's it for this episode. Sorry about my voice. I'm going to take a break, and hopefully I'll be back to normal for the next video. Yeah, if you liked it, give me a thumbs up. Click my subscribe button to get notified in your YouTube feed. And thank you for watching. Leave any questions in the comments below. Cheers.